but we are here. Massive thank you to every single one of you in that live stream chat, putting in the comments, putting in the likes, the double taps, and the shares and everything in there. Guys, I can't thank you enough. It's been making such a huge difference for the animals. We're actually getting into the hundreds of thousands of the views now, and it's all down to you guys and that early engagement. Guys, as you're in here, please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open to that conversation, and 3 if you're anti-vegan. Now, I want to start with a disclaimer. Thanks very much. The disclaimer today is that we are here to exercise our freedom to assembly, our freedom of speech. We're here not to cause alarm, harassment, or distress. We're not here to intimidate or cause intimidation. We are here to lawfully protest, and it will remain that way. Another disclaimer is anyone coming in this chat who is non-vegan, we are not here to point fingers at you and to be horrible to you. We're here to turn your head against the industry that exploit these innocent animals. Today, we're going to show you what the industry don't want you to see. We're going to show you animals going inside this very facility to be killed for optional products. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open to that conversation, and 3 if you're anti-vegan. Who we got in the chat, Lisa? Who's there?
Yeah, so we got Martin in the chat. Thanks for being here, Martin. Vegan tutorial, metal vegan, the real Meebo. Owen's in the room. Stacey's here as well. Thank you so much, guys, for being in the chat.
Honestly, we can't thank you enough, guys. It makes a huge difference. Obviously, they're anticipating our arrival today. Look, the camera is facing us on arrival. It's a tactic that they've been using here.
Oh, Stig.
But that's okay. We'll look at their tactics and we'll always be 1 step ahead. Let's see who's in here today. Yeah, animals already in here.
Where is that?
Animals already in. You can smell. Let's get it over the fence. Get it over the fence.
Yeah, guys, we're just gonna put this over the fence.
Yeah, look. Here they are. Here they are. Quick, find the police. Find the police, quick, tell them. People are here to show them the truth again. People are here to show you the realities of this industry. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. We'll be here every single day. We'll be here every single week. We're not going away. We will remain here until you stop abusing, exploiting, and killing innocent animals. You think we're going away? You have never seen such a persistent cause that we will fight for. We will never drift into the distance. We will be the voice for these innocent animals every single day that you bring them here to die. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, you're open to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream. Please like it, subscribe, and hit the bell notifications. Now, look at the approach from yesterday. Yesterday when we turned up, oh my gosh, for context, the smell here, guys, is so bad. Yesterday when we turned up, this place didn't expect us to come, right? Everything was open. The layerage was open. We caught them off guard. What did we catch? We catch them crashing, forklifts, swearing at us, running over, all come scurrying, running out of this building here to try and stop us from showing you the reality and the truth. Today on approach, this camera here that's supposed to be inside the facility is actually monitoring our approach route from the left here. They were waiting to see if we were coming. The gate was already on manual manned. This guy knows that we know what he's on about. You know that we know what you do. We will show the world what happens behind these closed doors, no matter how hard this evil industry tries to hide it. We will always be more persistent than them. We will always turn up. We will never go away, and we will never be silent. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, be open to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals, let us know where you're from. Double tap the stream. Please like and subscribe. To all you legendary vegans, you amazing animal rights activists who have already been waiting in that room, waiting for us to go live to defend the animals. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, and thank you for being with us here today. We are here live outside of a slaughterhouse. This is an ABB slaughterhouse. They kill dairy cows and beef cows here. I can already smell that they're killing animals, and I can see a truck just being washed down. Because when these animals are brought here, they are so petrified, they are pissing and shitting themselves as the truck comes in. All of the piss and shit comes out the back. These animals have a fight and flight response just like you do, just like your dogs and cats at home do. They have exactly the same want to live, desire to live, want to be free, desire to be left alone. But no, the industry and the system dictates that their life is just commodified down to a profit margin. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open to this conversation and thinking, why are we here today? And 3 if you don't care about animals, please double tap the stream and like it. We're going to show you something today that the industry do not want you to see. Now, the fact that these guys are already on the gate, the fact that they're already panicking, the fact that they preempted us being here tells me that something's happening here today. Is it a busier day than usual today? Will more animals be coming here today? Why do animals come here in the first place? The reason why animals come here in the first place is because this is a supply and demand system. The whole time the public are indoctrinated into believing that it's humane, it's ethical, that it's okay and that we need to do it. Animals are brought here because they demand it to continue to happen. Every time you go to the supermarket and you buy cow's milk, you personally demand the next individual to turn up, go through the gates behind me here, and be executed in the name of cheese, chocolate, yogurts, or a dash of their breast milk in your coffee or tea. One in the chat if you're vegan, guys. Spam the ones. Two in the chat if you're not vegan, but you have an open mind, you have an open heart, you consider yourself a compassionate person. And three in the chat if you don't care about animals. I'm looking to my left here, guys. It'll be right on your screen because this is the direction that the trucks come in. All I can do is go off of what my hearing can pick up, and they all sound very similar. So apologies if I'm looking this way. Guys, one in the chat. All the vegans, put the ones in. Non-vegans, but you're open-hearted, you're open-minded. Number two, and if you're anti-vegan, number three. But double tap the stream and like it. Guys, today, this is a matter of life and death. The severity of today, I cannot stress enough. Individuals with the desire to live and be free are brought to the very location behind me to be shot in the face and have their necks slashed open because someone wants to steal their breast milk. Guys, this is not acceptable. It is not justifiable. One in the chat if you're vegan and you've already removed yourself from that industry. Two in the chat if you currently pay for that industry, but you are open-minded and you want to know why we're here showing you. And three, if you don't care about animals, subscribe to the live stream, double tap and like. Guys, we're not here today to point our fingers at you and say you're a bad person if you're not vegan. That's against our objective. Our objective is to defend the animals. Now, like I described a minute ago, this is a supply and demand system. The only way that we can effectively defend these animals is by good people like you watching, deciding they're right. I shouldn't be paying for this to happen to animals. I'm going to remove my support and go vegan. We need to come alongside you and turn your head against this very industry. This industry that exploits baby animals, defenseless individuals who have committed no crimes. The building that you can see in the distance right now, this is called a layerage. This is a waiting room. This is a holding room for execution. This is where the animals are kept. They are brought forward from this section into the kill floor. They're then put inside of a knock box where they cannot escape. They're shot in the face and stabbed in the throat. That's exactly what's going to happen to them. Guys, for cheese. For cheese. Mums and babies stabbed to death for cheese. One in the chat if you're vegan. Spam ones. Two in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded. You consider yourself a compassionate person. Give us a number two. And a number three, if you're not a nice person, if you're a bad person, if you're an evil person, if you have a dark heart, then put the number threes in the chat. But please, double tap the stream and like it, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so we can show you what these evil industries do to animals every single week. Now, we're focusing here right now on cows, but we also go to chicken slaughterhouses, to pig slaughterhouses, to lamb slaughterhouses, to sheep slaughterhouses, to egg-laying hen slaughterhouses, and we bring you the reality and the truth every single week. Is this guy coming in here? This is a slaughterhouse. This is a slaughterhouse. What are you doing going inside there?
Are they going to let me?
Have a look through this gap. Have a look. Have a look through here. Shame on you for what you do. Shame on you. Now, the animal skins are over here. This is where the animal skins are. They take the skins off of these animals and they sell them for fashion. Could you believe that? They take the skins off of living beings, sentient individuals who don't want to die. They remove their skins and then they make shoes and bags out of them and jackets out of them. They're all over there right now. You should remove yourself from this evil industry. Remove yourself. Where's your SIA badge? Where's your SIA badge? Your SIA badge should be on display. I'm going to notify the SIA.
Go for it.
Let me have a little shot of you here. Okay.
And that's illegal.
No, it's not. Why is it illegal?
Without my permission.
You're in a public space. I'm allowed to film into here.
Private space.
I'm allowed to film into a private space. I'm allowed to. I'm allowed to.
No, you're not.
Phone the police then.
Okay.
Good. Give them a call. Give them a call. We'll phone the police. We'll get them down here. Give them a call. Guys, one in the chat if you're vegan. Two in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open to that conversation around being vegan. And three, if you don't care about animals. The people behind here, they're all number threes. These people don't care about animals. They're close to the industry. They're in there, they're working inside it. They see animals going inside there every single day. Every single day. And you imagine, guys, do not be a number three. The majority of the world right now is a number two. The majority of the world aren't vegan, but they do care about animals. They do consider animals. They do morally consider animals. But the industry have taught them that it's humane, ethical, and necessary. Let me tell you right now, it's certainly not ethical or humane, and it certainly is not necessary. We're going to switch in. Mel's going to come in now for a chat.
Yeah, well done, guys. You see there, the moment the security person is like, oh, there's a camera, he's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be on camera. You're not allowed to do that, and starts making up his own rules. Number one in the chat if you're vegan. Number two in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. Number three if you're anti-vegan. This is a slaughterhouse. We are doing everything we can to defend animals. People don't know these places even exist. They don't know who's going in here. We're going to tell you who's going in here today. Inside this slaughterhouse, there'll be dairy cows and beef cows. Beef cows are around 18 months old when they go to slaughter. Infants. Mother cows from the dairy industry get sentenced to slaughter when they can no longer produce babies, produce enough milk, or considered empty. The farmers actually will be like, oh, if she's empty, she can't pay her baby, okay? Farmers forcibly make these animals pregnant. Number one in the chat if you're vegan. Number two in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number three in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe.
Animals aren't killed for dairy products.
Yeah, every single cow is killed in the dairy industry. They forcibly impregnate her. They trap her in something called a cattle crush. The farmer puts his entire arm inside of her, injects her with bull semen. They call this process that you would call something beginning with R, if that was a human, AI, artificial insemination. It's actually another word beginning with R. They then make her pregnant. She carries her baby for 9 months, just like a human, just like your mum carried you when she gives birth to her baby. If they are a boy, they are considered a waste product because they don't produce milk. Can you imagine if you gave birth to a boy and someone was like, oh, they're just a waste product, they don't produce milk, we can't profit from them, so off to slaughter, off to a murder house to be killed and stabbed in the throat. Horrific. 20% of cows that go to slaughter are still pregnant, by the way.
Why are we here today? What are we exposing?
We're exposing the industries that lie to you and who oppress animals. We're also here in collaboration with Animal Aid today. There's actually an FSA report you can see on Animal Aid's site where they have got over 20 non-compliances at this facility. The FSA did their own audit here. Another audit happened and there was no change. These places don't care about animals. There's misuse of equipment. There's not stunning the animals properly, but that's welfare. There's basic welfare guidelines that are crap anyway. Even if they adhere to their standard, which is so low, it's still wrong. There is no right way to stab someone in the throat. There's no right way to kill someone who doesn't want to die, even if you patted them on the head to sleep. Number one in the chat if you're vegan. Number two in the chat if you're open-minded but you are not vegan yet. Number three if you're anti-vegan. We are not here to be against you. We're here to turn your head against the industry that mug you off and lie to you, and that has a real victim because of it, which is the animals. The animals are the victims of these awful places, and they are lying to you and making good people pay for absolutely horrific moral crimes to the animals. In the pig industry, did you know that when piglets are born, they have their genitals removed, ripped off their body with no anesthetic, their tails cut off, their teeth ground? Horrific mutilation on the first day of their life.
What are people going to see by staying on this live stream?
Yeah, stay on this live stream because we will show you the victims coming inside this place today. Right now, there's a truck that just unloaded the first load of victims, the animals today, and there'll be more trucks coming today. Horrific place. It's like a conveyor belt of absolute murder because this is a slaughterhouse. It's a conveyor belt of killing, oppression, and mugging you off constantly. You know what farmers say to you? I love my animals. Oh, we love our girls. Oh, yeah, we give them the best life. Oh, one bad day, right? No. Animals who are oppressed, farmed, used in any way, they are born into slavery. The animal slavery. They are living, in my opinion, on concentration camps, that when they reach a short age of 42 days old or 6 months old, they get sent to a slaughterhouse, piglets inside gas chambers in the UK. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. And number 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Some more beeps of support. So many people supporting nowadays. So many people learning the reality of what happens inside these places. Go to the description and watch Dominion on YouTube and see the realities. Keep asking questions. Put number 1 in the chat if you are vegan.
What made you vegan?
The dairy industry. So I used to drink cow's milk thinking that was fine, but I didn't realize that all the cows in the dairy industry get stabbed in the throat in slaughterhouses. I didn't know the only reason that a cow produces milk is for her baby. I'm not her baby. I've been brainwashed to think that I was drinking cow's milk. It's not your fault that you've been brainwashed, and the propaganda from these industries is so high. They put billions of pounds and so much strategy into the propaganda. In fact, the RSPCA advert I heard yesterday was horrific, purely about saying, hey, I know you guys don't go onto farms, so we go onto farms for you, and if you buy our Assured logo, everything's fine. Yeah? Well, what about when Animal Rising went on to all the RSPCA farms, over 200, and found massive animal cruelty, animal neglect? It's horrific. Every single animal from a farm goes to a slaughterhouse. They get killed, stabbed in the throat. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you are open-minded but not vegan yet. And number 3 if you are anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe. Please ask questions.
Where can they see more about the investigation by Animal Aid's report?
Yeah, go to our link in our description and you will go to the link that will show you the Animal Aid FSA report on this facility, ABP. Check it out for yourself. Go and read it now. See all the breaches that have been happening at these places. They're not even killing in a legal way. Not that it should be legal. It's a moral crime, and one day it will be illegal. And every single person who works in this facility will be in prison for what they do to the animals. We're giving these people an opportunity to leave. The security have left last week. Other people have left in other different slaughterhouses all around the world, purely by the presence of this way of activism. Get involved. We also have Project Livestream happening tomorrow. Activists all around the world, outside different slaughterhouses, all around the world, defending the animals. We are not here to fight against you, by the way. We are very passionate, and there's animals being stabbed behind me in this facility, and it breaks my heart. But we're not here to be against you. We're here to tell you the reality of what you may not know yet.
What animals are being killed behind you right now?
Yeah, so behind me, there's a truck that brought animals in, where they would have either been dairy cows or beef cows, potentially both, because sometimes the farms have both breeds as well to optimize the amount of profits that they can have. The dairy industry is actually a non-profitable business. Our tax subsidies go to those farmers to keep going for a business that's literally doing this. No one wants cow's milk. We're not baby cows. No one wants animals to be killed and shot in the head. Yet these industries are lying to you and making you feel better about paying for it. They say words like humane in front of stabbing. They say words like free range. They say words like organic. You don't even know what these words mean. Yet you're believing it, and you're paying these industries to do this to animals when you don't even know the industry yourself. So you're not even in a neutral position where you can actually have an educated response. You're in a position where you've been lied to, you've been mugged off by them. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you are not vegan yet. Number 3 if you are anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm. You're going to see victims coming very soon. Real victims of your choices. It's really black and white. You're either vegan or you pay for animal abuse, exploitation and murder. It literally is that. If you love animals, if you're someone who loves animals on this live stream, I'm not hating on you. I used to say I loved animals, but by my actions, it was very different for the animals. Now I'm vegan, my actions and my morals now align. I'm just going to switch back in with Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Guys, I want to make just a strong point here, but before I do, let me know in the chat, spam ones if you're vegan already and you've removed your support for that violent industry. Put number 2s, lots of number 2s if you're open-minded, if you have a kind, compassionate heart, but you're not vegan yet. And put a 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan, if you don't believe that animals should be morally considered. Now, let me tell you, while we're here, a little bit of a backstory about this particular facility behind us. Now, if you want to know more about this, you can click on the 3 dots on the top right-hand side. You can go into Animal Aid's link there, animalaid.org.uk, if you can't find the description link. And you can go and you can see the report done by Animal Aid on the very facility that I'm stood in front of right now. This is ABP Guildford. Now, back in June 2025, the report states that the FSA, the Food Standard Agency, they came here and they did their audit. Their audit concluded in a general satisfactory result. Now, that would normally spark another return by the FSA, who the consumer, by the way, trusts so much, within the next 3 months. However, if you read that report, Alex Activism, Mel and myself, we looked through the data sets on the FSA's website, the very website that is updated monthly to bring you the latest up-to-date stats and figures as to what the states of all these slaughterhouses are in. And guess what? No changes. Now, when I say a general satisfactory mark, that sounds good, right? Would you be shocked to know that there was 18 minor non-compliances and 6 major non-compliances, including moving animals around and improper stunning? Why is this facility still open when the FSA, who everybody believes and trusts so much, in their own report has said it's not good enough? Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Double tap the screen, like the stream, and please subscribe.
We just had a really generous donation from Popeye. Thank you so much for your kind super thanks for your really sweet emoji. The irony of Popeye being a strong character who eats spinach, right?
This is it, right? Popeye eats spinach, exactly that. We're indoctrinated and conditioned from children, and this is the problem. This is why I say you have major lies given to you by the industry. You're told that it's humane and ethical, and you're told that it's necessary. These are all lies, and you're taught this from a very young age. Look at all the propaganda, look at all the marketing that you see. Do you see babies being taken away from mothers in the dairy industry? Do you see the females stuck inside isolation hutches? Do you see the males being killed, shot in the face, being sent to slaughterhouses at a couple of weeks old? Do you see that? Do the dairy industry use that as their marketing strategy? Of course they don't. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to that conversation, and 3 if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap and like the live stream, and please subscribe. The industry would never give you the reality and the truth, because when good people see the reality and the truth, they remove their support for the very industry that's lying to them.
Someone said, yeah, but God made animals for us to eat.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. This is absolutely ridiculous. To use a religion to crowbar your want and desires to kill animals for taste pleasure is blasphemy in itself. There's a whole conundrum we could go into. First of all, do I believe in your God? Do you believe in my God? What if my God said that it's okay to kill and exploit humans? Does that then automatically make killing and exploiting humans justifiable because I say I've got a book that says that I can do it? Absolutely ridiculous. Now listen, we can clear up religion super quick and easy. There is no religion out there that mandates that you must exploit and kill animals. Therefore, it falls back onto you as a choice. Now, if you can be Christian and vegan, Muslim and vegan, Rastafarian and vegan, Hindu and vegan, all the other religions, you can be vegan and follow any faith you like. Therefore, there is no justification through any religious text to keep exploiting and executing defenseless, vulnerable animals for sensory taste pleasure, social pressure, culture, or any other rubbish. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to this conversation about veganism while we're here, and 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Please double tap the stream and subscribe. We're here today to show you the truth, nothing more, just the honest truth.
What happened yesterday when we arrived?
Yeah, so yesterday when we arrived, this place was all open. The gate was back. Everyone didn't know we were coming. We came around the corner as the truck was leaving, and all of a sudden, all carnage broke loose. They crashed a forklift truck here yesterday. They couldn't get the gate onto manual to run it across yesterday. It all went haywire, all because all of a sudden that curtain had been pulled back and we were able to give you a glimpse of the reality that they don't want you to see. Now, today when we've turned up, the camera's pointing down the road. These 2 little security guards are on the gate here. This one was wearing his SIA badge. This one's not. We're going to follow that up. We're going to see why he's not wearing his SIA badge. But we turned up today to a very different scenario. But one thing that is always consistent when you turn up to places like this is a slaughterhouse, by the way. The smell, the feeling, the atmosphere in the air is dense, it's heavy, it's thick. It smells of iron, it smells of acidity. It's disgusting when you turn up to these places and you think all them innocent animals are right behind there just waiting to be executed for optional products. If you're against any of the stuff that you're hearing, guys, let us know if you've gone from a 2 to a 1. Put a 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Put a 2 in the chat if you're a kind person. but you're not vegan yet because maybe you just don't know. And put a 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Let us know if you don't care about animals. Highlight yourself as that person who doesn't think that animals are worth morally, justifiably considering.
Yeah, we've got so many 2s in the chat right now.
2s are in the chat. Good. Now, guys, if you stay in this live stream, you're going to witness something that will change your life forever. We are literally, by the way, remember what we're showing you. We are literally showing you the truth. Why are you so triggered? Why are you so triggered? Come over and have a conversation. Come over and have a conversation. Rather than swear at me, come over and have a conversation. Come and have a conversation. Why are you so triggered? Why are you so triggered? Come and talk about it. Come and tell the world your position. See this?
Man, baby.
Guys, what you've just witnessed right now, you've witnessed a number 3 in real life. That's a number 3 in real life. Someone who can't handle their emotions.
Yeah.
Who's filming from across the road, doing hand gestures to us. But when I challenge him and say, come and speak to me, I wasn't rude. I didn't call him any names. I said, just come and talk to me then. Come and have a conversation. Why are you so triggered? He may be so triggered because actually he does care. And this is upsetting because as he's walking off to get his lunch, he knows that what we're doing here is holding up a mirror to him. We're holding up a mirror. Do your actions and do your ethics align? Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Let us know. 1, spam the 1s. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to this conversation. And put a 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. If you're a real life troll like the guy walking down the road, big crybaby who couldn't come over and have a conversation. I challenged him to a conversation. You notice this, right? Now you watch every farmer that drives in here today. I'll offer them a conversation. Not one of them will stop. Every truck driver that drives in here today, I'll offer them a conversation. Not one of them will stop. Why do these people who pride themselves on transparency and honesty not ever stop for a conversation to defend their position?
Where are we? Why are they getting triggered?
Right now, we are at a slaughterhouse in the UK. This is an ABP slaughterhouse. If you go into the 3 dots in the description, go into the link in the description and go and look at Animal Aid's report done here. Animal Aid has done a full report on this slaughterhouse from the FSA breaches back in June 2025, 18 minor non-compliances and 6 major non-compliances, including improper stunning of animals and improper handling. Now, we are not here by any means for a welfare position. We are here for animal rights abolitionist position. Animals should not be commodified. They should not be exploited. They should not be executed for optional products. They should have rights protecting their life and protecting their bodily autonomy. But the average consumer, they lean and they trust on things like the FSA. They lean and trust on things like the RSPCA Assured. They lean and trust. This is crazy. We're getting so many thumbs up. They lean and trust on things like the red tractor certification.
Yeah.
Why? Because they've been told, best standards, back us. We don't do anything bad. The RSPCA Assured helps animals. How does the RSPCA Assured logo make £4 million profiting off of their logo being on the body parts of animals inside slaughterhouses? Absolutely crazy. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Please double tap and like the live stream, subscribe and hit the bell notification. We're here today purely to defend these animals.
The driver's getting back in there, so I think the gate's going to open again now. We'll wait for the gate to open.
Yeah, let's see.
See if they stopped. Yeah, guys, you will now see how they respond to us.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask them how they feel about the FSA breaches back in June 2025.
Yeah.
Let's see if they have a response for that. They're not going to have a response. They won't answer. I can guarantee you they won't even put their window up. Guys, we are live outside of a slaughterhouse. We right now are just showing you transparency. The industry is doing all they can to hide the truth and the reality. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. 1, 2, and 3. Let us know, guys. Double tap the stream. Please like and subscribe. We go to slaughterhouses all over the week to bring you the truth. If you want to find more truths, go to the link in the description. Go to animalaid.org.uk. Have a look at their investigations. We're at 1 location that Animal Aid have reported on, but you know what? Animal Aid have done various investigations all over the UK, exposing all sorts of horrors that the animals face. Go to their investigation page and go and see the truth and the reality that the public has never intended to see. This is always intended to be out of sight. Why do you think this slaughterhouse has got all these security cameras, 16-foot spike fences? Why do you think that they block the public's view here? This gate, by the way, behind me, this is an automatic gate. They press a button and it electrically goes back and forward. But when activists are here with nothing more than a camera doing nothing more than standing in a public space, filming what happens inside here. These guys come out and run it manually because they want it opened and closed so fast that the public never get a chance to see the realities of the injustices that are happening behind there. This place, in my opinion, is nothing more than a death camp.
They're getting ready to run it now. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Let's see how they react.
Let's see what he has to say. What's your opinion on the FSA breaches back in June 2025? Did you know about the 6 major non-compliances by the FSA? What's your thoughts on that? You're bringing animals here to be executed. The FSA breached 6 major non-compliances. Surprise, surprise, silence. Surprise, surprise. No one wants to comment. No one wants to give any information. No one wants to tell you the realities and the truth. All secrets, all smoke and mirrors. Don't tell the public the truth, right?
Lairage is open.
Lairage is open. What you're doing now, what you're seeing now, is you're looking into the holding area where animals will be waiting in this area to die. Now, I can't see on the screen because Mel's got it up over the top of the fence, but you're potentially viewing animals there just waiting to be executed. One of the saddest sights. Them animals have the desire to live the same as you do, the same as our companion animals do. They have the ability to feel pain and suffer and feel emotion just like all of our companion animals do, just like you do. Why? Because they were born into the body of a cow. Do we think that it's acceptable to strip them of everything? Why? Because they're born into the dairy industry. Do we think it's acceptable to take baby after baby after baby away from them? Why do we think it's acceptable to kill baby boys because they don't produce milk? Why do we think any of this is acceptable? It's not. These are sentient beings. These are animals with the desire to live and the ability to feel pain and suffer. They should have rights protecting them. How can you have rights protecting you due to your sentience and them have nothing protecting them when they literally have the same sentience? It's absurd. It's absolutely horrific. It's backwards. It's not justifiable. It should never be happening. Never be happening. More thumbs up from cars as they're going past there. Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Put a 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to this conversation. And put a 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the stream and like the stream. Please, guys, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can see what happens weekly as we go to different locations. I'm going to swap over with Mel now. We're going to swap over and Mel can take over for a bit. A truck must be coming soon. Was the lairage empty or was the lairage full?
I couldn't see. I'm going to need the chat to let me know if they can see any animals.
Jack, can you let us know if you can see any animals inside there?
Maybe put red hearts if you can see animals.
Red hearts if you can see the animals. All right.
Guys, if you just joined this live stream, we're at a slaughterhouse right now. Type 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Inside this slaughterhouse, they kill cows from the dairy industry, they kill cows from the beef industry, but all across the world, there are piglets being forced in gas chambers. Disabled baby chickens at 42 days old get forced inside gas chambers as well. Turkeys. In fact, the majority of the way animals are killed are inside gas chambers where they burn from the inside out. Check out Kelly Bron's investigation done by Joey Carbstrong. Kelly Bron's is actually affiliated with, he's got a link with Jamie Oliver. Jamie Oliver so far hasn't said anything about the investigation, which is shameful, in my opinion. Go and have a look at Joey Carbstrong's YouTube channel for yourself. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. I'm at a slaughterhouse today. There's going to be trucks coming in from this end, which is why we keep looking this way. There's already like poo and wee on the floor. It's actually been dried from all the poo and wee of fear from these animals, because when they are so afraid, their body releases everything in their body so they can evade danger. But inside this place, even if they evaded the slaughterhouse, they've got a cattle crush which breaks their, a cattle grid that breaks their legs. So they can't actually get out. And any animals, if they did get out, we've seen recently there's been a few cows who have escaped other slaughterhouses around the world. They got shot when they got out. What other victim escapes from their concentration camp? In my opinion, that's what it is. And they get shot when they get free from that place. The animals have it the worst. They have everything against them, and don't be the person paying for these industries like slaughterhouses to exist. Be vegan and never pay for this ever again. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan, double tap that screen and subscribe.
Where are you today? What are you doing?
Yeah, we are not here to hate against you. We're not here to judge you or be horrible to you. We're here purely to defend the animals. I'm at a slaughterhouse today, applying pressure to this industry that exploits animals on your behalf. Pressure on the farmers that brings the animals here, the truck drivers, like you saw when Steve was trying to explain the FSA breaches at this facility, that you can go into our description and have a look at the Animal Aid site that did a report on that. You can see how the truck driver, the lorry driver, completely dismissed Steve, didn't want to speak to him. They act like they've been caught, basically. Yeah, so they want to window up and drive away. They pretend we're not there. But we are here, and we're never going to stop being here. The whole time the animals are exploited, we're going to be here until these places disappear. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you are open-minded but you're not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. An anti-vegan is someone who loves animal abuse and murder, or an animal farmer. Subscribe and double tap that screen. Vegans, I want you to put green hearts right now in the chat for the animals. Spam the chat with green hearts right now.
Where can people see this animal aid investigation?
Go to our link in our description, have a look for yourself, read it. There's 6 major non-compliances and 18 minor. It's all horrific, it's all disgusting. This is an urgent issue. This is the biggest issue that the world has ever seen, and the victims are the animals. No group of people have been oppressed to the point that the animals are oppressed too. And the animals get mocked, they get laughed at, they get stabbed in the throat, they get their skin ripped off their body. Did you know, I'll tell you this, 20% of cows that go to a slaughterhouse are pregnant. You know what they do? Bolt gun that cow on the head, slit her throat. She feels everything, by the way. The bolt gun is not for the animal, it's for the workers to incapacitate them to the floor so the workers can't get stabbed by the knife that they're trying to stab them with. She gets hoisted up by one leg. She's then bleeding out. While she's bleeding out, she not only has her skin ripped off her face, she has her stomach cut into, her baby ripped out of her stomach. And you know what they do with the baby? They open the sack the baby's in, they leave them to suffocate on the floor. That's what they do. That's what you're paying for if you are not vegan. So you may think vegans are extreme, you may hate vegans, but we're trying to defend the extremities that these people put upon the animals. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded. Number 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe. Like I said, we are not here to hate against you. We're extremely passionate. There are animals being killed behind me right now. Right now, animals are being killed. Guys, this is a slaughterhouse. Please double tap that screen. Keep putting number 1 in the chat if you're vegan so we know who's in the chat. Number 2 if you're open-minded. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Why are you coming to a slaughterhouse? What do you deliver here? Are you picking up or are you delivering? Watch the minion on YouTube and see what they do to animals in the slaughterhouse. You may not know. You might not know what happens to these animals, but it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. Good people don't pay for what happens in there once they know, but you've been brainwashed. Pay for this. Good people would not be working in this facility. We're giving you an opportunity to leave. You may not have understand. You may not know the reality because these industries pay billions of pounds to brainwash people. Did you realize that all cows from the dairy industry go to slaughter? Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. And number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe. That kid's really chatting about it there.
People saying that dairy cows are not killed for dairy.
Yeah, and I thought this as well. I thought this too. I thought cows just ate grass and produce milk. Well, they don't. That's what they tell you. But how are you meant to know the truth when no one's telling you the truth? And that's exactly what we're doing here today. Every single cow in the dairy industry is killed. They're murdered. They're stabbed in the throat because someone's drinking the cow's milk intended for her baby. Cows don't just produce milk because they're cows. They produce milk because they are mothers, exactly the same as your mother. But that cow, when she was sexually mature enough, you know what the farmer does? He takes her, he forces her into a cage that goes around her. She can't get out the front or the back, but the farmer has access to her behind. He forces himself or herself inside that cow. He puts his whole arm up to his shoulder inside that cow. Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe. Animals will be coming any minute, so please stay on this screen and defend the animals with us.
Thank you so much, The Real Meebo, for your kind, stupid thanks and support. Real Meebo's put normal doesn't mean ethical, traditional doesn't make it right. Kind foods equal good mood. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much for that kind super thanks. That's extremely kind. Guys, just going to switch back in with Steve quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done. Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. 2 if you're not vegan but you're open to this conversation. And 3 if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream and like it and subscribe and hit the bell notification. We're live right now outside of a slaughterhouse. This is ABP Guildford. Go into the description and go and look at animalaid.org.uk and go and see the report that was done by Animal Aid here about the FSA breaches back in June 2025, where they reported 18 minor non-compliances and 6 major non-compliances. How, when this place has had major non-compliances, are they still allowed to bring animals here every single day? Surely things like this should be coming to an end because people are waking up to the injustice. Now, if you are someone who is waking up to the injustice, you currently are a number 2. You may be a non-vegan, but you have an open mind, you have a kind heart, and you're compassionate. Now you know some education. Now you know that animals are brought to here for optional products. Now you can shift from 2 to 1. You can wake up and stop being a reason animals go to slaughterhouses personally for you. I want you to know that you are not so far removed from the system. Well done. Well done. Very clever. That there, again, why is it every time I come around the camera, I get a real life number 3 behind me? People beeping their horn and saying, get burgers. They're real life number 3s. Now, hopefully the police are here. They can come and talk to us. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open to that conversation. And 3 if you don't care about animals. Now, we're going to talk to the police, see what he has to say. Let's see if they conduct themselves properly. Let's see if they do the right protocols and procedures.
It's kind of bad of them to keep calling the police and using their resources.
I know. Yeah, guys, spam that chat. 1 for vegans, 2 for non-vegans who are open-minded, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Go, officer.
What's going on?
Are you recording me?
I am recording.
You're supposed to tell me you're recording me.
What's going on today?
We're raising awareness of what's happening to the animals. They're bringing dairy cows and beef cows here to be executed for optional products. So we're here today to live stream to show nothing more than the truth. The consumer never finds out this reality. They're told that firstly it's ethical, they're told that it's necessity, like you have to eat them. Well, the 2 things are huge lies. It certainly isn't ethical and it certainly isn't necessary. Our objective is to film the animals and reveal nothing more than the truth. You can see at the beginning of our live stream that we are here to exercise our right, freedom of speech, public assembly. We're here to not cause alarm, harassment, or distress or intimidation. The protest will remain lawful and it intends to remain lawful. Okay. We do this all over the country, so we know our legal limits and our legal bounds. Our objective isn't to break the law, because if we break the law and then we get restricted in showing people the truth, the animals are the ones that lose out. So everything we're doing here is lawful. It intends to stay lawful. We're just going to literally show people the truth.
Has anyone come from there and spoke to you at all?
No, earlier on with this security guard in the orange, I believe he's a security guard, by the way. I've took a picture of him because I'm going to report him to the SIA because he's acting as a security guard, but he's not got an SIA license on display, which is actually a criminal offence. So I've taken a picture to report him to the SIA later on. He was the only one who spoke to us and asked us to stay on public land. This is why we're back past this line here. So yeah, we're here. Yeah, no one ever comes out and speaks to us. We're here all the time. They don't want to come and speak to us because as soon as they come out, they're on a live stream being highlighted as someone who works in this industry. They're embarrassed by it, but don't like it. Who would want to be highlighted and work in a place like this? So yeah, no one comes to speak to us. In fact, we asked them, and we say, because back in June 2025, the FSA, do you know who the FSA are? The FSA came here and they did their yearly audit. Well, it came as a general satisfactory, which required a revisit within 3 months. Well, actually, we looked at the data sets on the FSA website, which is a public website, and there's been no change to them data sets. There were 6 major non-compliances, like improper stunning and improper moving animals. We're not here, obviously, for welfare. We're here for animal rights, but this is an FSA report itself. So we're here to bring that to the public attention. Why aren't the members of the public told that the FSA have come here and they've seen major non-compliances? So when we ask them, what's your opinion on this major non-compliance? Why aren't you reporting on it? Silence. You know, why? Why the smoke and mirrors? Why aren't they transparent with the consumer? How does the consumer ever stand a chance to make an educated decision when they're not told the truth from the beginning? It's not fair. It's not fair, certainly for the animals who are dying today for these optional products. It's unnecessary. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been here before?
Yeah, loads of times. Yeah.
So you may have been here yesterday as well?
We've been here loads. Yeah.
That's why I'm just here to check out what's going on.
Yeah, I know you were here just as much for us as you are for them, I know.
I'm not saying, anything about stuff about.
Cool. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We fully intend to stay lawful and to just be transparent what's happening here.
Okay, I'm here to just check out what's going on. I'm not saying you've done anything wrong, all right?
Cool. Appreciate it. Cool. Thanks.
Can I say your names?
No.
That's fine.
No, I know. Yeah, no. Cool. Okay, guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals.
You did amazing.
1, 2, and 3, guys. Let us know. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the bell notification so that you're notified every single time that we come to these places. We go to these places all over the UK. We travel around to show you nothing more than the truth. Now, I want you to know that these industries, they pay billions and billions and billions and billions of pounds to lie to you. They pay billions of pounds on advertising, on marketing, on radio ads, on TV ads. They pay billions to keep the public believing the humane lie, to keep the public believing that what's happening here is ethical and humane. They pay billions. What do? We turn up with a camera. We turn up with a phone, a simple lens to show you the reality. We don't have to spend billions on inflating our side of the story. We don't have to spend billions on lying to you and propagating to you to make you believe what we're saying. We turn up with a lens and we show you the reality. We show you the animals as they come in. We show you the way that these evil industries, in my opinion, respond. We show you the truth, because I believe that when good people with a compassionate heart who do care, which are the number twos are good people who they're not vegan, but they're good people. They just don't know any better. So when people know better with a good heart, they become a number 1. And like I always say in these live streams, any misguided anger from a number 2 towards a vegan, when you become vegan because you've given it up and you said, you know what, the vegans are right, it's not ethical, it's not moral, I'll be better being a number 1. All of that anger and hate, it goes towards the industries that lied to you as a good person, that made you pay for some of the most horrific violence, some of the most horrific exploitation that you could ever imagine. Trust me, we go into these farms and we see it firsthand ourselves. This isn't an anecdote. This is the reality. This is just the truth. We're pulling back the curtain. We're removing the smoke and mirrors so that the consumer stands a chance. It's not fair on the animals that these animals are kept in exploitation. They're viewed as commodities just because the industry have indoctrinated humans to not critically think and to believe in the lies that they're told rather than questioning the system. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Now, in the slaughterhouse behind me, this slaughterhouse kills dairy cows and they kill beef cows. Now, it was seeing the dairy industry that made me vegan. I was watching a friend of mine, I'm glad he could call him a friend now, Joey Carpstrong, and I was watching him debate someone on his YouTube channel about the dairy industry. Now, I couldn't argue with any of the points that he was making. I was sat there, I wasn't vegan, and I was listening to all of the points he was making, and I was thinking, this is logical, this is the way I feel, I get his points, I understand what he's saying. And then all of a sudden I saw a glimpse from inside one of these places. I saw a black and white dairy cow on her side, having her throat slashed open, being lifted up on one leg. I saw how wide her eyes were. I saw the fear and expression in her face. I saw how frantic she was trying to get away, but she couldn't. She was incapacitated. She couldn't even stand. The only thing she could do was hope that her blood drained from her body quick enough that death was as painless as could possibly be. And when I looked in her eyes, I thought, I am never being the reason another animal is exploited and suffers again, and I went vegan.
Yeah, we've got some people saying that they care about animals, but they don't know how to be vegan. What can they do?
Listen, right, you're in a position where the majority of vegans were, like I just described there. I would have considered myself someone who cared about animals all my life, but I wasn't vegan. So I know exactly where you are. And this is why we're not pointing at you saying you're a bad person, because you want to do the right thing. You just don't know how to do it. The first thing that I think you should do is go and watch Dominion. and go and watch Pignorant. Pignorant you can watch on Amazon Prime, and Dominion you can watch on YouTube. Watch them 2 documentaries. It'll give you the first full picture. When you know why you should be vegan, all of the how questions, how do I get protein? How do I get my taste pleasure? How do I do this? How do I do that? They all become really, really easy. And you can also sign up to Challenge 22 for extra support.
There's so many people saying, yeah, but protein.
Protein comes from plants.
Yeah.
You need nutrients, but you can choose the ingredients. All protein comes from plants. It comes from photosynthesis and nitrates in the soil. All protein comes from plants.
Yep.
The protein myth goes alongside the calcium myth. These are myths that you've been told as a consumer to keep you buying eggs, milk, dairy, cheese, and body parts. You do not need it. You need nutrients, and you can get all your nutrients from plants. When you have an option to choose kindness, why don't you? Everything okay? Yeah.
I'm just going to chat with them. There's no issue. You're obviously well within your rights to be here.
Yeah.
Just stay outside them.
No worries.
Deal and just try and make sure you stay safe where you are.
We will.
Obviously, like noise coming in and things, not really any.
Appreciate it.
So,
Cool.
Take care.
Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Let us know. I'm going to swap over with Mel now because you're probably bored of me. So let me swap over with Mel.
Yeah, sorry, I was all out of sync with the timing. Yeah, guys, so this is a slaughterhouse. If you've just arrived, this is where we are today. Behind me, they kill cows from the dairy industry and from the beef industry. But this isn't the only slaughterhouse around the world. There's also slaughterhouses where they kill piglets in gas chambers. Check out Pignorant on Amazon Prime and see the reality for yourself. They also, at 42 days old, they take disabled baby chickens and they send them to gas chambers as well, inside pits of hell where they burn from the inside out. Another place that Joey Carbstrong has investigated is Navarra egg-laying gas chamber. So basically all the egg-laying hens, the majority of egg-laying hens in the egg industry get forced inside gas chambers as well. One thing that you probably don't know that happens in the egg industry is that male chicks on the first day of life get ground up alive in a blender. So every time you pay for eggs, you don't realize, but you're basically putting a chick in a blender and you're pushing on. That's what it is. No matter where you get the eggs from, that's what happens at the beginning. That's the hatchery where they sort the chicks from males and females. The females get their beak snapped off, like cut off by like this like heat thing. Then they get sent to these big barns where there's maybe 30,000 chickens in one big barn. Chickens can recognize up to 100 faces. We have chickens as well. We rescued them. And there's something called a pecking order. This is where the chickens kind of like beat each other around a bit to make sure like they know who's higher and who's lower in the pecking order to have like a bit of a equilibrium in their life. Now in these barns, they won't ever get that. So they're always living in like a prison in survival mode. Chickens pecking at them constantly. Let's put number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. I'll continue the story. 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. And 3 if you are anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and please subscribe. Make sure you like this live stream as well. So chickens also experience things like prolapses. We've had a poor chicken have a prolapse after she gave birth. After she laid an egg, her insides like came out with it. When chickens see red, they peck at red. So the other chickens were pecking and making her really sore. Steve had to sit with her for 3 hours to try and put that back in her body. For 3 hours. You don't realize what happens to these poor chickens. It's horrific. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. And number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe. This is a slaughterhouse. Now I'm naming some things that you may not know what happens on farms. Absolutely horrific. We have rescue chickens. So basically in the egg industry, chickens have been genetically modified to lay 300 eggs a year. Naturally, they should only lay around 12 eggs a year. All that nutrients get depleted from their body. They're drained. That's why a lot of them have like hardly any feathers. They need those eggs back. So if you ever rescue chickens, make sure you smash their eggs on the floor and so they have the nutrients back in their bodies. It's really important. Eggs are not for us. Cow's milk's not for us. Leave them alone and be vegan.
Where are you? What's going on in that building behind you? Why are we here? There's a truck coming out behind you.
Yes, this is a slaughterhouse right here. This is what it looks like inside these facilities. It's what it looks like inside these facilities. What is that they're bringing out? Shouldn't work it. Shouldn't work it. Why do you work here? Why do you work here? Do you bring pallets in and stuff? Pallets everywhere. You should check out Dominion on YouTube so you see what happens on the inside, and then you know why we're here. We're not here to like hate on anyone. We're just here to defend the animals. But yeah, there's a documentary called Dominion on YouTube. Just check it out so you know what's happening on the inside. There's FSA breaches at this facility as well. He was the first person to actually be like, oh, okay, yeah, I will. So that's why I'm leaving him with that, because he delivers pallets to all different places. Lairage is still open as well. Should we film the Lairage is still open?
Lairage is still open.
I'm just going to get it on my phone so I can see if we can see anyone. We're just going to show you something, guys. Sorry, bear with us for a second. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Let me see if I see anyone. So this is a dungeon that they get taken into from the truck. It's called a lairage, but I call it a dungeon because that's what it is. They go into this area here. There's poor cows. It's quite dark in there. This is inside of a slaughterhouse, guys. You ever seen inside a slaughterhouse before?
Can't see in there.
I can't see any cows right now, but that's where they go. That's where they stay, in that dungeon. Awful place until the kill floor is then free, and then they force them into the kill floor. He's really nice, that guy. I've seen him a few times. They force them into the kill floor. They get bolt gunned in the head, not for the animals' sake, for the workers' sake. Number 1 in the chat, guys, if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. It's not your fault, guys, that you don't know what happens in these industries, but this is a slaughterhouse. Mother cows from the dairy industry go inside this facility and get murdered. In my opinion, it's premeditated murder. The farmer literally breeds her into existence to take everything away from her. They take her children away from her. They take her milk away from her intended for her baby, and they sell it to you and then tell you lies. They tell you things like humane, free-range organic, and they love the animals. There is no love in farming or slaughterhouses. It's monstrous. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. And number 3 if you are anti-vegan.
They're on the gate. They're on the gate.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Double tap that screen and subscribe. Yeah, I've just seen that they're holding the gate as well, so it might be a truck might be near. There's 2 of them on the gate. 2 security have to be outside whilst we're here. Yeah. Also, they can hide the animals from us. All we're doing is showing people the animals. That's it. What they've done here is they've taken this automated gate off automatic, and they put it on manual, because when it's on manual, they can open and close the gate faster so that we get to see the animals less. And the reason they're afraid of you seeing the animals is when people see those mothers, those cows from the beef industry crying out, people go vegan instantly. This is why these live streams are so effective. We have never seen so much change in our entire time we've been doing activism. These live streams are incredible for change. Please get out and join us. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe.
Wow, Renee, oh my gosh. Renee, thank you so much for such a kind super thanks. Renee's put 0 points for those who abuse the weaker for selfish reasons. For products nobody needs. The whale suffering in nets is on you too. If you're not vegan, so much suffering is caused as a mere consequence of the suffering of individuals who get murdered beforehand. Wow, exactly.
Renee, thank you so much for all your kind support. You're such an incredible supportive person in this movement, not just to us, but to other activists, and of course the animals as the priority. Thank you for everything.
We've got some legendary vegans in here with us.
Thank you to so many vegans in this live chat. It's not easy to be in the chat when there's so many people being horrible to the animals and mocking the animals, but we've got to be resilient and continue anyway.
For anyone turning up, where are you today? Why are you here? What breaches have happened in this facility to the side of us?
I'm at a slaughterhouse today. They killed dairy cows inside this facility and beef cows. They're not dairy cows though, are they? They're actually mothers. They're mother cows. It's just the dairy industry. The dairy industry lied to you, the public, and the beef industry. All the industries that exploit animals lie to you, the public. We're here defending the animals and giving you an opportunity to see your victims for yourself. At this particular facility, we are not here for welfare, by the way. Welfare is crap. There's a rights violation, but we are leveraging the FSA breaches in this facility, 6 major non-compliances and 18 minor non-compliances. Have a look at the FSA report done by Animal Aid in our description. Click the 3 dots in the corner of this live and see that for yourself. Not stunning the animals correctly, hygiene issues, misuse of equipment. In fact, we've even seen farmers, when they pulled up here with the animals have fallen down whilst entering the lairage, and then they went back into their truck and they got a big stick thing and was prodding them. I'll do a video about that on our Instagram soon. Check out our Instagram, it's Mel and Steve. That's where we do like the highlights of, not the highlights, but like we show the animals of the day of what's happened here. Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe.
A random British, I think has just gone vegan.
Amazing.
I think that's what I saw. Wow.
Another vegan in the chat today. Thank you so much for going vegan for the animals. This is an urgent issue. The biggest issue of our time is it's the war upon the animals, and you're paying for it if you're not vegan. This is a slaughterhouse. Please double tap that screen and subscribe. We are not here to fight against you. We're here to fiercely defend the animals who are being oppressed because of you and the industry. But it may not be your fault. Maybe you don't know what happens in the dairy industry. Maybe you don't know what happens to all the animals on the farms because you're lied to. They spend billions of pounds lying into your face. If you're not vegan, and I'm not saying this with any disrespect, but you have been mugged off. You're either uneducated, you've been mugged off, or you're an evil person if you know better and you don't act. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe. We are at a slaughterhouse. We're going to continue being here for as many days, as many years as it takes until these industries stop. We are never giving up because these industries run on money. We run on passion. We run on the right thing. We know what we're doing is right. We know defending animals is the morally right thing to do, but what they do is evil. It's a moral crime. One day it'll be a legal crime. They'll all be in prison for what they do to those animals.
People are saying I could go vegetarian but not vegan.
No, vegetarian means nothing to the animals. If you're vegetarian, you may think that it helps the animals, but it doesn't. It's literally, vegetarian is the same as people who oppress animals. It's black and white, vegan or an animal oppressor. That's all it is. There's no middle ground. In fact, vegan is neutral. Vegan's a neutral position is someone who doesn't oppress animals. There's someone who doesn't defend animals. Be a vegan and then be an animal rights activist. That's what myself, Steve, David are. We saw what happened and now we're defending the animals. Vegetarian is just a diet. You still pay for oppression towards animals with dairy, eggs, animal exploitation with animal testing. In fact, go and check out on DXE. Amazing activists have gone inside of Ridgeland Farms and taken out beagle puppies from experiments. It's going to happen again. They're going to get 2,000 people to take out the 2,000 puppies left at Ridgeland Farms in America and free them. It's going to be massive. So if you want to get involved, check out DXE, go to their site and go in with them and free a puppy if you can.
For any number 2s in here, and by the way, there are loads of number 2s in here.
Yeah,
we appreciate you all being in here. What made you vegan?
So I never thought I'd be vegan. I always thought like, oh, they're just like some weird people. I didn't understand it. That's why I thought it was weird. But I come across a YouTube video. It was a debate that Joey Carbstrong had with a member of the public. I didn't know who Joey was at this point. And it said, debating the dairy industry of the public, something like that. And I remember thinking like, what the hell? Like, what's there to debate about dairy? Don't cows just eat grass and produce milk? I was so wrong. And I was drinking cow's milk at this point. I was drinking cow's milk, eating flesh. And I saw that. And he explained the dairy industry. He explained how cows in the dairy industry have to be made pregnant to produce milk. He explained how they have their babies taken away from them. He explained how they have their milk sucked out of them. He explained that that gets repeated when they dry up. Then it happens again and again. And when she can no longer produce milk, she gets sent to this place, a slaughterhouse. I saw inside of a slaughterhouse. I saw this poor black and white dairy cow on her side being bolt-gunned in the head, slashed in the throat by 2 workers over and over and over. She could feel everything. And I broke everything inside of me broke. And I went vegan on the spot because not only was I angry that I've been lied to. I'm not a baby cow yet. These industries lied to me. Not only was I angry at that, I was so saddened that she was in there because of me, because I used to drink cow's milk. Cow's milk is in fact very addictive. It's
Casomorphine.
yeah, it's got something called casomorphine in, which is an addictive substance. It makes the baby go back to the mum for milk. We're mammals, so when you're drinking the cow's milk, you're consuming that as well, and it's like making you go back to the mum for more breast milk. So guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe.
I'm not sure if this is a troll comment or whatever, but they paid for a super thanks to go up there. So we've not touched it today. Let's go for it. The produce you eat, their farming causes habitat destruction that endangers actual wildlife, and the methods used to farm them harms the environment.
Okay, so we don't really talk about environment much because this is an animal
I think it's a
rights.
crop death
Yeah.
basically.
The leading cause of deforestation, ocean dead zones, climate change is actually animal agriculture. So get rid of animal agriculture and that stops that issue. It's as simple as that. If you're not vegan, you're paying for also the destruction of all the environment. 80 million children are being starved where they live in places that the crops are being grown and they're being fed to the animals that then you consume. So you're taking away food from children who are literally starving. They can just eat the plants that are grown in that country. But no, the rich countries bring that plants over and feed to the animals. 80 billion animals. There's 8 billion humans alive. Get rid of the animals. Don't breed them into existence. Then you can feed the whole world over and over and over. Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan, and double tap that screen and subscribe.
What's happening in the facility behind you? Why are you here?
Yeah, this is a slaughterhouse behind me. When I arrived, there was a truck in here who just unloaded a load of poor victims, cows from the dairy industry and from the beef industry. The security are now on the gate. They have to man the gate. 2 of them have to push the gate because they're weaklings because they're not vegan. They have to take this gate off an automated system so they can manually run it, because when the gate's on the automated system, it's slower, so we get more time with the animals. But when they man it, they have to run it faster. They don't want us to show you the animals, because when you see the animals, people go vegan instantly. Go onto YouTube and watch Dominion if you don't understand what happens in these facilities. There's also FSA breaches. Go into our description, see the Animal Aid investigation, see the Animal Aid report on the FSA report that was done here. There's been 2 reports now. First one, they found 6 major non-compliances, 18 minor. They come back and nothing was changed. They don't care. They don't care about the animals. It's hell for the animals. It's a monstrous industry that needs to end today. Let's get rid of slaughterhouses. Let's be vegan.
Are you just here to rage bait people?
No, absolutely not. So we are definitely against these industries as a whole. All of them. Any industry that exploits animals, I'm so against with everything in my core. But you're not the industry. You're a member of the public who's been lied to. You're the innocent person in this who just doesn't know better. It's not your fault that you don't know better, because they do spend billions of pounds. They even corrupted the RSPCA Assured scheme to use their name. RSPCA Assured used to be called Freedom Foods, but they saw the RSPCA had a really good standard, or really good reputation for saving animals. So they corrupted them with money. Now they're called the RSPCA Assured scheme. The RSPCA Assured scheme say that gas chambers for piglets is fine. And for chickens, it's fine. That's what they say. They literally burn from the inside out. CO2 gas is actually torture for those animals. Torture. Okay, and that's what they assure. In fact, in 2024, they made £4 million just off assuring farms and those gas chambers. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. And number 3, if you are anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe. If anyone wants to know more, go to Dominion on YouTube and then go to challenge22.com. Find out how you can be vegan. It's the easiest thing you will ever do, and it's the best thing you will ever do. It's life and death of the animals. I'm just going to switch in with Steve.
Yeah. Literally is life and death for the animals. Guys, I just want to take a moment right now to thank all the vegans in this chat. As we're doing this, the chat moves fast and we see the green hearts, we see the comments. Just want to say a huge thank you. The chat room is a really hard place to be. We appreciate you being here with us. We feel like we're a team effort. We couldn't do it without you. The algorithm is throwing up these views because of the support from you. So please feel directly involved when we're here doing this. It's the way that we see it. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream, like the live stream, and please hit the bell notification. We go to random slaughterhouses all over the week, all over the UK, just to bring you the truth and the reality of what the industries don't want you to know. Now, why don't the industry want you to know? Why don't they want you to know? Why do they keep you indoctrinated? Because if you know, if you're a good person who's not vegan but does have a compassionate heart, when you find out what happens to their profit margins, a massive drop. When you find out that day-old male chicks are blended up alive for eggs, you don't buy eggs anymore. When you find out that male dairy cows are executed at a week to 2 weeks old because they're a waste product in the milk industry, you don't buy milk anymore. When you see that bacon sandwich is a 6-month-old piglet inside of a gas chamber, you don't buy pigs or bacon anymore. And all of a sudden their profit margins drop out.
Aaron Don Britta just gone vegan.
Amazing. There's 2 vegans already made in just over an hour of this live stream. Now, this slaughterhouse is behaving kind of strange this morning. They've been killing animals here, I can smell. So I know animals have been killed. It's still early in the day. It's only 11:30. No animals are in the layerage. No trucks are here. What's going on? I wonder if they're holding trucks off. Maybe we should go for lunch and then we should come back. Maybe we should stay for the whole day. We've got enough batteries to stay for the whole day. Maybe we stay here until it closes tonight. Who knows? But these industries are trying all different ways to not let you, the consumer, see the truth. Ask yourself this question, okay? If you're a number 2, if you're someone who's not vegan, but you are compassionate and you are kind, I want you to ask yourself, why is there so much secrecy around this system?
We just had someone else go vegan. Mohammed has just got to become vegan.
Amazing, Mohammed. Thank you so much for extending your kindness and compassion to all animals. You will never feel so good until the day you say I'm vegan.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the best feeling you ever have because you now know, Mohammed, your hands are clean of blood. The blood of the innocent victims that are inside the slaughterhouse behind me, they're no longer your victims. Thank you for doing that from the animals. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to that conversation, 3 if you don't care about animals. Please double tap the live stream and please subscribe. Now listen, major non-compliances are here. The FSA themselves come here, done their audit, 6 major non-compliances. Now you can see that report by clicking on the animal aid link and looking in on the animal aid report on the FSA report done in June 2025.
Well, Jasper said I'm vegan. Jasper, have you just gone vegan as well?
Jasper's just gone vegan too. There's 4 vegans today. 4. Jasper, thank you for extending your kindness and compassion.
Wait,
to all
someone else.
animals.
Bullish just said he's gone vegan as well.
Bullish as well. There's 5. 5 people now going vegan. This is what happens when people who are good people, who do have kindness and compassion in their hearts, hear and see the truth and the reality. It doesn't take much. It's just like a little notification.
Wow. Also, Charlene's just gone vegan.
Charlene's vegan too. This is amazing. Thank you all so much from the animals for your decision to remove your support.
Mark,
thank you so much.
Crazy.
This is exactly what happens when number 2's good, kind, compassionate people hear and see the reality of what animals face.
Kevin's just gone vegan.
Another person's go. This is great, guys. Now, I want everyone to take note. The trolls, the number 3 there. Look when you say, chuck, 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 change.
Shit. Put it on the floor. It's going that way.
Yeah.
Why is it going that way?
Okay, all right. I think they're going to come back in here in a minute.
So many people going vegan.
All right, Mr. Mac.
King of Games, new vegan.
Sorry about that, guys. That's a truck. Now that guy, look, these guys are going to get ready now. This guy's driven past once. He's going to go turn around and he's going to come back. As he comes back, they're going to open this gate and bring these animals in here to die. These animals are coming here to die for optional products like cheese, milk, dairy, yogurts, chocolate. Optional products that we don't need about or get the vegan version. There's no justification to continue this violence. And we've just seen a huge display of compassion has just been witnessed within the chat room. Huge amounts of people putting their pledge out there that I am now vegan because I've seen or I've heard the horrors that the animals face.
James said he's vegan.
James vegan. Guys, to everybody making this decision right now, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I thank you from the animals for now not being the reason that they're executed and exploited. You now have removed yourself from being part of that violent system. And this is what I'm saying, trolls. When you say nothing happens, no activism doesn't work, here's proof.
Yeah, Fletcher said new vegan unlocked.
New vegan unlocked. I like that term. I might use that. We might unlock a few new vegans today. This is what happens when kind people see the reality or they hear the reality. All you got to do is hear the consistency, right? Dairy cows have pregnancies forced on them, their babies taken away from them, and then they're executed for milk. Did you know that over 25% of dairy cows go to the slaughterhouse pregnant because they're sold on body weight? Did you know that they're executed between 3 and 5 years old because they're non-profitable, because their milk production declines? Did you know that every female born in the dairy industry goes into an isolation hutch until she's sexually mature enough to be put on the back of that dairy line? Did you know all these facts? If you didn't, and you're a number 2 of kindness and compassion, we've seen a huge display of compassion by people going from a number 2 to a number 1. Let us know, guys, in that chat. 1, if you are vegan. 2, if you're not vegan but you're open to this conversation and you're kind. 3, if you don't care about animals. Guys, excuse me with my head on a swivel. There is literally trucks driving behind Mel, left to right, and I'm analysing to see if any of these trucks have animals are on them.
Yeah, and there was one that went up there. We don't know what's happening with it.
Animals went up there, I believe, because the guy laughed as if it was a funny thing that we all went into sort of action mode to film. Guys, I want to make a point that we're not here to argue or to point fingers at non-vegans. That's not what we're here for. That's against our objective. Our objective is to defend the animals, and we do that by turning your head against the industry that have lied to you. They've not even just not told you the truth. There's one thing not telling you the truth, and then there's another thing not telling you the truth and lying. It's completely different. Now, the industries have not told you the truth, and then they have lied. Why are you drinking cow's milk? Why are you breastfeeding from another animal? You're not a cow.
Zane's vegan.
Another vegan. Amazing. Guys, this has given me a lot of hope today. This has given me a lot of hope. Bless you. A lot of hope. And I only hope that more and more kind, compassionate number 2s, non-vegans with open hearts, go vegan when they see and hear the reality. Now, so far, guys, you've been hearing us talk outside this slaughterhouse. You haven't seen any animals yet. You're going to see animals in a minute. We're going to stay here until these animals come in. And you're going to see the very victims that today was the last time that their eyes opened. Last night was the last night that they sat down beside their friends and family and slept. Today was the last sunrise. They wouldn't have had breakfast because they don't feed them on the way to slaughter. What a waste of food. Doesn't matter if they're hungry. They're going to be dead by this afternoon anyway. But for them, they woke up this morning with the same hope in their eyes and in their hearts as everyone else. They woke up with the same dreams, to be free, to be loved, to be allowed to do what they want to do, allowed to do what they want to do and go where they want to go. If you ask me to define slavery, my definition of slavery is taking someone's bodily autonomy, giving them a number, not a name, and controlling every single element of their movement. Now look at every single animal in the food system. Look at every animal in the vivisection, the animal testing system. Look at every animal in the clothing systems, the fashion systems, the fur. Look at them all. Every single one of them is given a number, not a name. Every single one of them has every element of their life controlled. So to me, any animal in these systems, they are slaves. They are slaves to the industries that exploit them for profits, and it is not good enough. There is no justification. It is not okay to do this to these animals. These animals want to live and be free just like we do, just like you do. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open to this conversation. And 3, if you don't care about animals, double tap the stream. Please like and subscribe. We're going to do this every single week. Let me swap back over with Mel.
Oh, I don't know if that truck's going to be like...
I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. That truck was weird. Like, and so it drove past. It was a truck full of cows. I couldn't see any cows, but went past there laughing. Usually they go down and then they wait like on the left because they're so afraid of activists pointing the camera at the victims, like about the animals. But you got to ask yourself, like, why? Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded. Number 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream and subscribe. Go and watch Dominion and see the reality for yourself. And we'll see you on the next live stream.